What's going on, you guys? It's Perry the Entertainer back again for another video, and yes, we are going to be taking a quick look at what happened on last night's episode of Monday Night Raw that took place on October 6th, 2014. Yes, I know it's been a while since I've actually reviewed Raw on this channel, but I have been reviewing Raw on another channel. You guys can go check out the Variety Vendor down in the description box down below. I am a part of the Wrestling Analysts podcast down there, so you guys can definitely go check that out. I think it's really cool. It's basically an opinionated show and everything. You get to hear everybody's opinion and you kind of rate and debate and everything, and I think it's a pretty cool show. So go check that out. Link is down in the description. It's probably in an annotation somewhere on the screen as well. But let's get right down to business. Raw kicked off in Brooklyn. I believe it was in the Barclays Center. So I almost said SmackDown. Raw kicked off with Seth Rollins going out there, basically how Dean Ambrose embarrassed him last week with the whole sliming issue, which if you did watch the Wrestling Analysts podcast last week, where I did talk about how I thought it was the sliming was not necessary. It was just, all sorts of just Nickelodeon stuff. Like, this isn't like Double Dare shit, so I don't know why the hell WWE tried to do that, but I guess now I don't know. I don't really even know if Ambrose wants to actually like get his revenge, or if he just wants to embarrass him. And I was thinking about that during the entire night, thinking, okay, what are Ambrose's motives to attack Rollins compared to Cena's? And a lot more were on the side of Ambrose. Turned on the Shield, broke up the Brotherhood, that pact and everything. Drove his head through cement blocks a couple weeks ago and all that stuff. Belittled him on live television. John Cena, the only thing he has against Seth Rollins is the fact that he screwed him out of a championship match that he can get at any fucking time. He's John fucking Cena. So I don't know why Cena's making this out to be such a big deal, unless he really does want to, tie Ric Flair's record. But, Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury went out there and talking about how, they were telling him to leave and everything, and basically how Rollins has all the eyes on him. John Cena runs down, they start brawling a little bit. Seth Rollins jumps the barricade like a coward heel. Jumps the barricade, and of course, lo and behold, right behind him is flipping Dean Ambrose. They got him cornered. They got him right where they want him. They both start kind of going to town on him until I think Rollins starts going up the apron, or no, he starts going up the stage, I'm sorry. And Triple H and Stephanie come out, and, they're like, we're not going to let you brawl out into chaos. You guys want to get your hands on Seth Rollins? We're going to give you just that. Later tonight, it's going to be Dean Ambrose and John Cena versus Seth Rollins and Kane and Randy Orton in a 3-on-2 handicap match. So, that's how Raw started off. I thought it was it was bland, but I understand that, like I said, you don't have a whole lot to work with now. Roman's out, Daniel Bryan's out, Brock's probably going to be out for the rest of the year, so, you don't have a whole lot to work with anymore, so I do understand the weak start to Raw. But not only was it a weak start, the first hour of Raw may have been the worst first hour of Raw I've ever seen as a 3-hour show. I swear to God, this shit was awful. The first hour was awful. Next part was a 6-man tag team match between Dolph Ziggler and the Usos versus Stardust, Cody Rhodes, and... Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Cody Rhodes is... Yeah, okay. Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and Cesaro. Once again here, I think they had this match last week or something like that. I did talk about on the same podcast how I didn't really feel that, Cesaro's getting the better end of the stick, because it seems like him and Miz just kind of flipped feuds. So now it's going to be apparently Miz and Sheamus for the U.S. title, and it's going to be Cesaro and Ziggler for the IC title, which I wouldn't mind, because Ziggler and Cesaro are two incredible wrestlers, and I know how they can, I guarantee that they can work very well together in the ring. But this match, though, I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I paid a lot of attention to the game, but I did see the ending with the triple super kick, which I thought was an okay spot. A lot of people actually freaked out over that, so okay. I think that was Jimmy Uso who hit the splash and covered Cody Rhodes 1, 2, 3. So Ziggler and the Usos get a win. Looks like the Usos and Gold and Stardust are going to be fighting again for the belts. That's all you got to know. Next part was the most abysmal part of the show that I have seen in a couple years, maybe history. Adam Rose going out there with the hosts of Raw, which is Kathy Lee Gifford and some bitch named Hoda, from the Today Show. And this shit was awful. This was god fucking awful. Like, I'm not even speaking as just a wrestling fan at this point. This was horrible television. Like, this was god fucking awful. At least have, like, have a heel go out there and be like, oh, fuck the Today Show and fuck this and fuck that and shit. And then have Adam Rose, like, kick his ass or something. At least do that. At least have some sort of point as to why they're there. But they're there. They do a little toast and shit. Hoda does some stupid fucking dance. They start cracking champagne bottles across their asses. And segment over. The biggest, I think it was like almost 6-7 minutes or something like that. Biggest waste of my time of the night. Fucking awful. I don't want to talk about this anymore, and I know I'm going to have to talk about this on the podcast this Sunday. So if you want to know more about me belittling this, and more importantly, belittling that motherfucking bunny that I want to cook and eat, because I can't stand that fucking thing, check out the podcast this weekend, because it's definitely going to be a must-see. We got a rerun of the Wyatt family promo with Luke Harper last week. I think it's pretty cool. I definitely am going to probably make a separate video on that later on, maybe the week, maybe the month, something like that. I do want to try and do something special since it is October. It's kind of Halloween. It's scary and maybe some movie reviews or something, but we'll get to that when it comes. Next match, Mark Henry versus Bo Dallas, keeping up this thing. Mark and Bo apparently hate each other now. Bo Dallas wins by countout. That's all you kind of really need to know. It looks like they're going to try and maybe do some sort of double turn with Mark Henry and Bo Dallas. I'd be pretty psyched to see Mark Henry as a monster heel, the same one we had from 2011. So I'll give it a chance, but Bo Dallas, like, as a face, like, I don't know how to react to that. Like, I think he's just a much better heel, but that's that. Next up, Dean Ambrose talking about how he came out there and then he called Cena out there, calling him Superman and all that shit. And basically, this was the big part of the night where I did say that somehow or another, this is why I was thinking, like, okay, what does Ambrose have against Rollins compared to what Cena has against Rollins? And this was the part of the night where I started thinking that. And this was when I drew why Ambrose, I know why Ambrose is feeling the way he's feeling. So, basically, Cena was saying all his shit. They looked like they were going to get into it, and then Ambrose basically said, fuck you, I'm going to Coney Island, and left, and, they showed footage of him getting on a subway or something like that. How the hell he got back so fast, I'll never know, but, WWE continuity issues and everything. Next match was announced on the fucking app, Summer Rae versus Brie Bella, with Brie Bella having her one arm tied behind her back. More overcoming the odds to make Brie look like she actually has a shot against Nikki. So that happened. Brie Bella gets the win with one arm tied behind her back. So the Lay Cool reunion that everyone wanted to see, Summer Lay, fuck that. You ain't gonna see it. Jack Swagger versus Tyson Kidd was our next match up. And if you gave these guys more time in the ring, yes, then we would have seen something a lot better, but I feel that the match did kind of ruin itself when I believe there was like a real bad botch at the end where it looked like I think Swagger was going to do some sort of like belly to belly off the top rope, and then like Tyson kind of fell on like his front instead of his back, and then Swagger quickly reversed it into the ankle lock for the tap out victory. But okay match, I guess. I didn't like the botch at the end, and I feel that kind of ruined the match. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's about all I got to say about that. I like seeing Tyson Kidd on my screen, and I mean, maybe now that he gets no more championship matches against Adrian Neville, maybe we will see him on the main roster some more. And I know I have a reputation of not liking Tyson Kidd on this channel. I didn't like the way his fans were freaking out over him a couple years ago when he was in the Money in the Bank, saying that he actually had a shot for this damn thing. So that's the only reason. That's the only bad thing I had against him. But I like his new gimmick. I like him kind of using his wife to kind of get where he wants. But at the same time, he disses her whenever it doesn't go his way. So, yeah, I guess this kind of makes Swagger look strong. So that's that. Edge and Christian are doing a SmackDown 15 anniversary show, totally reeking of awesomeness or something like that right now. So I want to try and make this quick. Roman Reigns and Michael Cole have some brief interview that I never got to see, so that's happened. El Torito versus Mini Gator, also known as fucking Hornswoggle. Again, horrible shit. I didn't watch it. I turned on the game, which I have on right now, so I don't know what the fuck happened. If you want to see it, I'm sure it's somewhere on YouTube. So, and if you want to see it, more power to you. I'm not going to fucking waste my time talking about this shit. But I'm not going to be wasting my time on this shit. I'm going to be wasting my time on what happened next. Rusev going out there and trying to confront the Big Show about what happened last week with desecrating the Russian flag. Rusev saying how Big Show is a coward and all this stuff. Basically calling the Big Show out. Big Show does not come out, surprisingly. Rusev says you're a coward and all that stuff. And lo and behold, who comes out? None other than the fucking Great One. Nobody was expecting this. Twitter blew up. I'm sure Facebook blew up. The internet blew the fuck up. Way bigger than the fucking fappening or whatever the fuck that's called. The Rock came out to confront Rusev. And I know everybody's going to be watching this video saying Rusev got buried by The Rock. There was no way to make Rusev look bad in this segment. You could have had Rusev crush The Rock and make him look strong that way, but the problem would be you'd be pushing him way too hard and you'd be, basically kind of doing that shit. I feel like that would have hurt him. So, if they did that, but they ended up with The Rock beating up Rusev. And like I said, Twitter just blew the hell up. Nobody expected it. Nobody was rumoring it. Nobody spoiled it online or anything. And that's what really makes wrestling is the big surprise and the shockers. And this is what saved the show for this viewer right here. It saved the show. I had my remote in my hand. I was on strike 2. I was ready to turn to the Seahawks and Redskins, which, by the way, is not a very good, substitute. But it was cool to see The Rock back. It was really cool to see. I have a feeling he's only there to kind of promote SmackDown 15. Another announcement, by the way. I don't know if we're going to be doing spoilers this week. In fact, for spoilers, we actually might be doing a review of SmackDown 15. I feel that is kind of like a special show, so it deserves some sort of special treatment. So I hope you guys don't mind if we do not do the spoilers episode this week. In fact, we do a review on SmackDown. So I think that'd just be a lot fitting. I think that'd be pretty cool to do. But I have a feeling that's what he was trying to do. That was the only reason he was there. But, yes, this didn't have anything to do with the Rusev and Big Show match or, the feud, per se. But it was still awesome to see The Rock back. It still delivered its purpose of the shock value and everything. Everybody loved it. I didn't see one single person bashing this part of the night. So, you're definitely not looking at it this way either. But The Rock beating up Rusev was great to see. Both of them standing in the middle of the ring. It was cool. It was very cool. And especially, this just, basically says, hey, we are serious on this guy. This guy Rusev is now in the ring with the, WWE likes to promote him that way, the biggest star in this industry, in The Rock. So, there is no possible way that Rusev got buried from that segment. I don't care if he went down and everything, and I completely understand that. But you don't want to, I'm guarantee you, WWE does not want to bring The Rock back to look bad against Rusev. I'm almost positive WWE doesn't want to do that. So, having him kind of go out the way he did, I don't mind it. So, I think I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. What did you guys think about that? Rocky coming back and fighting off Mother Russia. Next up, AJ Lee and Emma versus Alicia Fox and Paige. I could give two shits. I was too busy telling my dad what happened because my dad missed that part, so I don't know what the fuck happened there. I think Paige and Alicia won. AJ walked out. Haha, get it? It's funny. It's funny because her husband walked out on WWE. It's so funny. Oh my god, I'm slapping my knee. Oh, nobody else found it funny. Anyway, right after that we had a similar promo to the one that the Wyatt family had for Luke Harper last week, but this week it was for Eric Rowan, so this does bring up a lot of questions. Now, WWE did say that they were going, a lot of people saying that WWE was going to do a singles push for Luke Harper. Now Eric Rowan's getting this, and now towards the end of that promo, it said something about, it was on like a pregnant girl's stomach, and it had in it looked like those black markers that I'm sure a lot of you guys sniffed as kids. and they smelt like horrible, but you couldn't stop. Like one of those black markers. You guys get what I mean. Like, I'm not going to have a picture of it on the screen, but it's like something like that. You guys get what I mean. And it's had It's Coming on there. And I posted on Twitter asking, what could be it, and I got a numerous amount of things. One person actually said, Bray Wyatt maybe is pregnant, and the fetus is the it. Maybe the it is the Ascension coming up, and Bray Wyatt's going to be managing the Ascension, and basically make this whole Wyatt family thing. Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, Connor and Victor, and Bray Wyatt, which would be an incredible stable. Like, that would be crazy cool to see. Sister Abigail was another one that I saw on there, and a new member of the Wyatt family. Out of those four, what do you guys think is it? What do you guys think is coming with this it promo? What is it promo, basically? Up next, The Miz and Sheamus. I didn't watch a whole lot of this. Like I said, I didn't watch a whole lot of Raw, especially like after Rock came out. I felt that that's where Raw should have ended. Just have Rock go out there and finish the show. I think that would have been a lot better with what we got. I started watching the game more. I think Miz won with a roll-up, which was cool. It's cool to build up towards the title match between the two. Maybe Miz actually wins the U.S. title, makes it look a little, better, because right now Miz is kind of on the borderline between a mid-carder and a main eventer. He's that upper mid-card, lower main eventer status right now. And personally, I love it, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Miz fan. I think whatever WWE is doing with The Miz right now is working, and it's working to an extent that they can build him up as the next big star if they actually need to. I'm not expecting that for another year or so because Brock's in the main event, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns when he comes back, Cena's still up there. They got tons of guys up there. They don't need to start rushing talent up there right now, so I understand not pushing The Miz up to the status that he's at right now. Then they had a pretty cool segment with, I think it was, what was her name, Joan London or something. She was an author. She was like a publicist or something, and she was talking about her fight with breast cancer and everything, and it was so inspiring. And I know everybody's going to come on here and start bashing it because it has nothing to do with wrestling, and it's like, shut the hell up. Like, I understand a wrestling show has to be about wrestling, but when they're dedicating their time, they're dedicating all this shit towards, a special cause like the Susan G. Komen thing and everything. That's why I don't bash it. I don't find anything against it. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that WWE is doing that. I think the NFL's doing that as well. I think it's just a cool thing to do. I think it's just I think that it's cool to do. It's, like I said, it's inspiring and it's helping other people. It's helping people who are fighting breast cancer and who have fought off breast cancer and survivors and everything. And personally, I think it's cool. I think it's a very good cause to fight for. So I didn't mind this too much. I thought it was good with what we got, and it was very emotional. I think Cena even broke kayfabe and went out there, hugged her, and everything. So I thought that was. I know I've been using the word cool, but this was very cool. I thought it was. I think it was placed very properly too. It was right between the Miz and Sheamus, and right in between the main event. The main event, which was. It was a handicap match, but it was 3-on-1 because Dean Ambrose walked out on John Cena earlier on. The main event started 2 minutes before the actual end of the show, and match went about 4 minutes. Kane ended up getting disqualified for kicking John Cena in the face when he wasn't the legal man. So that happened. John Cena is getting his ass whooped by all three guys of the Authority, and we hear Dean Ambrose's music. He goes out there with a hot dog cart, and I don't know if I was watching WWE or I don't know what movie. Maybe Dean Ambrose is watching a little too much, like TV or something. He was watching some Western movies or something like that, and he went out there and he had the ketchup in one pocket and the mustard in the other, and it was like like those shootouts, like in the big epic culmination between the two cowboys, and they draw, and you pull out the gun and poof, you blow the fucking guy's brains out. That's what we had with Ambrose. He pulled out both ketchup and mustard and sprayed it all over Kane and Orton, and I was shaking my head the entire time. I understand they want to make Ambrose look like this crazy character and everything, but with what he's been doing, he's more childish than he is crazy. Like, with the slime last week, now he likes coating the Authority in condiments. Like, what's next? Next week they got some broad from Married or Basketball Wives or something like that next week. What are they gonna? Is he gonna fucking dunk on Seth Rollins next and try and embarrass him then? But I don't know. I thought it was okay. I mean, I thought it was better than the sliming shit we got last week. But to end it off, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon went out there and announced the main event for WWE Hell in a Cell. John Cena will be facing Dean Ambrose, and the winner will be facing Seth Rollins inside the cage. It was rumored a lot online what was going to happen, and they said this exactly. So I think it's a pretty good substitute for Brock not being there and defending the championship. So I don't mind it too much. I like WWE putting Seth Rollins in this kind of public enemy number one spot and making him look like he's really important in the storyline, and he is. He's Mr. Money in the Bank and everything. But they are making him look like a champion, and he isn't the champion. So I think this is very promising for Seth Rollins' career. Of course, when Brock comes back, he's going to have to take another back seat. No mention of Brock, no mention of Paul Heyman during the show. There were a couple nice spots, but other than The Rock coming back and maybe the ending, which was kind of funny, this show sucked. This show was bad. I definitely recommend you guys check out the Seahawks and Redskins game instead of this crap, because at least you will be entertained. You guys can find the Rock and Rusev promo somewhere on the internet. I'm sure someone already uploaded it. Hell, I'm sure it's already been uploaded for almost 2 hours now. So you guys can definitely go check that out. That was probably one of the best parts. That may have been the best segment of the year, and that's really saying something for Rusev, a guy who can't really talk, and he's got Lana by his side and talking for him. So all in all, I'm going to give the show about a good 4 out of 10 this week. The only reason I'm kind of rating it so high is because The Rock, you guys know he's my favorite of all time. Got to give some special preferential treatment to him. So that's kind of how that worked. Anyway, let me know what you guys have to say about this. I apologize for such a long review, but I wanted to get through everything. I wanted to let you guys know what I thought. You guys can go check me out on the Wrestling Analysts podcast down in the Variety Vendor YouTube channel. Down in the description box below, it's also on an annotation somewhere on the screen. I believe we'll be having episode 5 this Sunday. And like I said, it's definitely a must-see. We got Eddie, we got AJ, and we got Aaron on the panel this week. So definitely check that out. I think they're going to be trying to get on this channel somehow. I'll try and do some sort of collaboration, bring them over here, and we'll see what we can do about that. But until then, next time I will see you guys is probably Friday, maybe, to do our SmackDown 15 review. Maybe we actually might do spoilers. I don't know. But I do want to review this special episode of SmackDown this week. So it might go up on the spoilers show as a review, but we are going to be reviewing SmackDown this week. I'm going to go check out Edge and Christian, totally reeking of awesomeness on the WWE Network for only $9.99. I definitely know that, a couple 15-second poses are definitely worth $9.99, so you guys definitely need to go check that out. Stop watching this review, and let's go check out Edge and Christian. Till next time, Perry the Entertainer signing out. Peace.